guys, welcome to another fabulous episode of the Goldiva Fab Show. On today's episode, we have a very special guest. Yes, because all our guests are special. And this time around, I'm actually very privileged to be rocking one of our design. She goes by the name of KAFT TRENDZ, and she's going to be on the sofa talking about embracing your culture and what really is to take Africa to the world. We would also be talking about all the fashion beats on the Fashion Fab. You do not want to miss all of that. Make sure you stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. I am now on the sofa with an amazing guest that I have been opportune to wear the outfit like 3 or 4 times, and this time around also rocking it on the show. She goes by the name of KAFT TRENDZ. Please welcome her to the show. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's very good to have you here on the show, and thank you for putting me in this amazing piece. I love it.
Absolutely.
I have to say, I have not finished, getting so much compliment from the last one. I feel like after this one, I will be getting so much more compliments. So that is so good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So tell us, how did they all get started for you? Tell us a little bit about your background and, before getting into the fashion world.
Well, my name is Ibiyemi Alabi, and I'm the creative director of KAFT TRENDZ. Born and raised in Nigeria, did nothing related to fashion, have a first degree in economics and a master's MBA in financial management. Did my master's in the UK, and in 2013 I decided to, bring all the, the experience I had into a new venture. And I started to sell different apparels from different countries. Kaftan most especially, which was where the KAFT trend came into. I sold different kaftan from Indonesia, India, Pakistan, and all sorts of different places. And after a while, I decided to incorporate my culture into what I was selling at that point. I thought that, well, I could, rather than, slay other people or rock other people's culture, I could bring that into my own culture as well, which is where African Inspired by KAFT TRENDZ came into place.
Okay, so you went from selling other people's fashion, I would say, to now having your own brand,
creating
your own label.
So
how was it for you, the transition of saying, did you have to go study? Because you were selling that, you didn't have to study for it. Now that you've created your own brand, did you have to study for it? Did you have to learn and things like that?
Not particularly, because while I was selling as well, I was designing. I had designers in these countries that were making for me what I wanted according to my specification at that point. So obviously the transition period wasn't, that much of a difference for me. It was just bringing in the African fabrics into what I was doing. So it was basically doing exactly the same thing. So yeah, it was a smooth process, I would say.
Okay. And as we can see, it's very obvious, you work with African prints, and that's why it says KAFT TRENDZ, inspired by Africa. So what was it for you that made you think, yes, you're from Africa, and, we all want to, as much as possible, display our culture as much as possible. What was it for you that made me say, I want to do strictly African, I just want to target that and just, make it that alone?
Loving yourself, loving your culture, appreciating who you are, appreciating your background and where you're from, promoting Africans and Africa positively, creating that positive image of Africa all around the world through fashion. That was the inspiration for me.
Okay. And also I have to say, most of your design, I would say the things that you probably would see, but they're like in African print, like you had the coat in African print, like you have the cape and things like that. How would you say for you is a designing process of it? Do you just say, what can I design, and incorporate African print into it, or but what's the process of the design?
I just believe that anything that you can buy from the high street shops, you can make in African prints as well. And that obviously makes you stand out, in public. I believe in not only standing out, being noticed, but you need to be remembered. So if you go to an event, for instance, wearing a high street shop, you can have 1 million people wearing exactly the same. But you go to an event wearing your prints, you have a very slim chance of someone wearing exactly the same print with you, but the slimmest chance of you wearing exactly the same design
will be different. And also we're talking about, speaking of going to a party, in terms of when you go to like let me say the Owambe party, obviously they have the Ashwebi and all of that. But the thing is, even though you're wearing the same material, but it's like you tend to create your own style and your outfit out of it. Is that something similar that you would say?
Yeah, there's obviously a difference between what we call the Owambe parties and the kind of designs I do, because mainly I specialize in things that you can find in the shops. Western fashion incorporated into African style is what I do mostly.
Okay, so would you say they're like Afrocentric? Would you put
sort
it like that?
Afrocentric, that's the word.
Okay, all right. So in the design overall, if you were to, I guess, say, let me say I wanted to step out of African, would you ever consider doing any design that is not got Africa incorporated into it?
At this point, I would say no, because I'm so into what I'm doing. To start with business or making money I always believe in you doing things that you have passion for, making money out of what you have passion for. I love Africa. I love the African prints. So if I were to come off the African prints, I'll be thinking of another African fabric from another African country.
Okay. And also, this is something that is not new to us. I'm speaking about African, like, in terms of the material, in terms of the style, even though you have managed to modernize it, which makes it a lot more attractive for you to wear. Do you think the people, the non-African, have been like, do you think they're acceptable to the style or even the print of the clothing?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people who are not Africans, I have been to fashion shows where a lot of white people, a lot of people across the group have, appreciated the prints. You must agree with me that they're colorful, they're beautiful. Yeah. So wherever you are, they always appreciate the fabrics. They love what I do, and they always, ask for where they can get it. I have been patronized by a few of them. So we do not only serve the African community, I serve customers across the globe.
Okay, and that works for you because it's like you're promoting the Africa, but then you're also opening Africa to the rest of the world.
To the rest of the world, that's correct.
That's what we plan to do. And now with your ranges of clothes, I know they'll go from like what you're wearing right now, the amazing piece. You can go from the most casual look, just a top, to something more elegant and extravagant. And you have the evening dresses as well, which I have been opportune to wear. So how does the ranges go for you? Are they ready to wear? Do you make bespoke? How does it work with the customers?
Right, so it depends on what I do have. Things that I've made already for people to buy, and also I do make to customer specification as well, depending on what customers want. I style events, I style parties, photo shoots, video shoots, I style all different kind of events. So depending on customer specification, to be honest, I can work with anything, I would say.
Okay, so someone can just come up to you and go like, oh, KAFT Trend, I want this style, I want this kind of color and stuff like that. So you can source the material for them, design it, and then make it into an outfit. So it's like an all production process. You can achieve that. Right. Okay, so tell us about the process. Do you make the clothes yourself?
I don't make the clothes myself. I do have people that work for me back office. What I do mainly is the designing, and I have got the back office staff, the backroom staff, the tailors who make the clothes. I slay my brand myself. That's what I do, but I design mainly.
Okay, we're actually talking about that the other day about the title designer. And obviously, I would like to touch a little bit on that because we do have a lot of people that carry the title designer. And I feel because you just touched on that, basically for you, what makes a designer? I mean, what would you say? For you to be able to say, I am a designer, what do you think you have to be doing?
A designer is somebody that has that creative sense. You're the brain behind the designs, the creative director. You create these designs. This is where a lot of people mix the bespoke tailoring with the fashion designers. There's a lot of difference between them. The tailors are the ones that are making it. The designers are the ones that are creating the style.
So if you, let's say you buy a piece of clothing, and let's say you put your logo on it and possibly change the look of it, like the packaging and stuff like that, does that make you a designer?
No, it doesn't. So buying a piece of fabric and putting your label on it doesn't make you a designer. I could mix that fabric with this fabric. Creating the design to make it into is what makes you a designer.
So it's a process of it. You have to be able to put something together.
You've got to be very creative. Fashion itself is an act of creativity. So you've got to be able to have that creative nature in you. For you to be able to be a designer, you cannot just, it's got the tailors just put the fabric together. You actually design.
Okay. And the reason why I asked the question also is because I feel like you've been on both sides of the fence. Obviously, you went from a retailer because you said you were just selling the clothing, and then now you went into a designer. So I'm sure by then you weren't calling yourself a designer, were you?
No, I wasn't at that point because I was just, there selling and stuff like that until I actually started to design. I started with wearing things myself to events, designing stuff myself where, I had a lot of people, when I go into events, a lot of comments here and there. She stands out all the time and stuff. And I thought, come to think of it, rather than having to, design and rock other people's culture, I could actually, bring this into my culture as well.
Okay. And very lastly, how would you classify your own personal style? As I mean, we know a lot of designers, they like to incorporate their personal style into, their brand. So how would you describe your personal style if you weren't trying to go out? What do you normally, I guess, look like on a normal day?
Right. I'll keep that very simple. For me, it's all about uniqueness.
Okay.
Regardless of what I'm wearing, evening dresses, casuals, I like to stand out.
Unique. So just be your own person, what works for you and stuff like that.
I like to be different.
I like that because I feel like that's what I try to do as well. And as much as possible, I try to look different from I did the previous day. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I always like the look of coming out and feeling like a different person.
And that's the only way that you will not only be noticed, but you will be remembered at events.
Okay, that's really good. So basically, there's quite a lot of, we've talked about being a designer and stuff. There's quite a lot of designers out there, even people that work with African prints. What makes KAFT TRENDZ stands out?
Well, I would say KAFT TRENDZ, because fashion is very dynamic in nature, we constantly changing on our designs as well. The approach is very positive, honest, and we're very, very honest with our clients as well. We analyze each client's needs to be able to understand what every client needs, and also we empower our customers with that self-confidence that comes with a new look and style.
And I have to concur to that because I've been a customer and I've been on the other side. And I did receive all of those things that she said. And lastly, for our customers, because as much as possible, people want to be fashionable, but at the same time, they want to be able to afford the fashion.
That's right.
Is KAFT TRENDZ affordable?
Well, quite affordable, depending on what you want. I would say we have everything for different classes of people. So depending on what you want, we work with any budget. So you come on board and tell us what you want, what you need, and we're able to work with your budget.
Guys, I mean, what else do you need? You can get something fashionable, quality, affordable. So I mean, that's it. And any final word? So I feel like you might just want to give like a final thing because I feel like this is actually really speaking. And I just say I really like this.
Oh,
I like
you.
this. Is it something that you're gonna add to your collection, or this is just something that you will make based off of if somebody requested for it?
This is part of my collection already.
Okay.
So
they can buy this?
They can buy this, that's
okay,
right.
So guys, if you like what I'm wearing, you can get this straight from KAFT TRENDZ. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We hope you had a good time.
Yeah, I have had an amazing time, fabulous time on the Fab show. Thank you, everyone. It's been a really amazing time for me.
Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you stay tuned because we have more amazing stuff coming up on the show. Hi guys, welcome to another segment of the show. And as you know, when you see both of us, you already know what segment is. We don't even need to introduce anymore. I feel like you guys are probably used to us by now.
Yeah, it's all about the fashion, style, beauty, and every of those tips we bring it to you live and direct.
On the Fashion Fab. Do you know what though, Kizzy? I'm like a little bit sad today.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Guess what? This is our final show for this season.
Oh my God. Well, on the bright side, they've got us on YouTube, haven't they?
I know, right, guys? So don't worry. If you think you're seeing us for the first time, no, you can always watch us over and over again. We give you the permission to just abuse the red button and just keep it on replay. Don't worry, guys. This is the last show for this season, but we promise you before you blink, we'll be back for another season. Yes, we will be coming back for another season.
Yeah, watch out for season 3.
Yeah.
We're letting you know right now before it even starts.
But guys, we thought it would be nice to do a little recap and round up since we've been, talking about this segment, we've been building it up, and we thought this time around, you guys probably already got all the tips, you've put it all together. You probably now become an expert fashion lover. So we thought
they're all fashion lovers now. So
I know, right?
Basically, we can just give them some trend tips on how to stay fashion trendy.
So we begin to say, fashion lovers, this is your guide to staying trendy.
That's the topic for today.
Staying trendy. And to start with, we're going to start with the first thing is you have to know yourself. As much as we say fashion is something you express yourself with, of course, takes risks with it. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but you have to know yourself deep within. We've talked about this on previous episodes, but the main thing is you have to know yourself, what works for you and things like that.
Very important, very important. That's the most important tip of being a fashion trendy person. You have to know yourself, colors and everything. Colors that work for you actually. Just, know yourself, study yourself properly, and then you find out.
and also what's in as well. I mean, as a fashion lover, you have to know what's in. It's not necessarily you have to follow all the trends, but it's just kind of like you kind of keep up to date to know what's in, and so that when you're walking on the street and you see something, you go like, oh, okay, I see that, I know that was in, like you see that, and that's how you get inspiration sometimes as well. Just know what's in, what's popping, and all of that, so you can always recreate your style with it.
Yeah, just to add to that, you know, when you want to know what's in, what do you do when you want to know what's in?
I think it's good to stay, I mean, current with like the blogs.
Yeah,
we're talking
fashion
about the
blogs,
magazines and stuff like that.
Do a lot of window shopping, even though you're not buying anything. Just pop in the shop to see what's.
You know what? That is a good thing, but I think for someone like me, don't give me that advice.
Nah.
Because once I'm next to a window, best believe me, and that window, we're going home together. Like, I ain't going to a window shop and go out to that window.
The topic we discussed some few
No, I'm still
episodes back.
not a shopaholic. Still not going to believe it. I am
told
still
you,
not.
you just don't want to believe. You're
No, I
learning
did
the
not
secret
fall
out
in the
little by little.
category. But yeah, guys, that is always a good tip. Like Kizzy mentioned, you know, sometimes you don't even want to buy anything. You just go to the shopping mall, just see, you know, most of the window display as well, they can tend to show you what's in. So you can just walk around and see, you know, what's in and stuff like that. And the next thing I would want to say again is the environment. Sometimes I feel like we're inspired by the environment that we're in. As much as you want to see what's in and what's that, but the environment you're in as well, you get a bit of like a feel of it and things like that, and try to, like, you know, spice things up and all of that.
Yeah, just to add to that, you know, I might deviate a little bit, but it's just like, you know, for the weather as well, the environment consists of the weather and everything, so you have to dress to the weather as well. You know, it's very important.
Yeah, and then I would say individuality. This is key. As a fashion lover, yes, we want to explore, we want to do all of that. We want to see who's how, who's not. Most of us have celebrity crush and style icons and things like that, which we always talk about. But the key thing is you have to be your own individual. You have to stay as an individual. Take things on board, but make sure they represent you. Stay as an individual.
Also, you have to like check out lookbooks and all this, you know, fashion books that, you know, style books, GQ magazines, all these things.
Read as many
as possible.
As many as you can read.
They keep you up to date with the trends and, you know, all this.
Even sometimes, like, you know what's so funny, like with the magazine, with the newspapers, I usually, when I was going on a long journey, usually when we all go on the train, I normally pick up the newspaper, but I always read the news. But like now they're beginning to put fashion things in there. You can always, even when you're going on your journey on life, you know, to work, you can always pick up on
straight
things.
to the fashion pages on the newspaper.
And
you see
even
all the celebrity news as well, you know. The celebrities are the first people who know what's trending. So when you follow them as well all the time, like their news, maybe their Instagram pages or whatever it is.
Or you can always, speaking of pages, keep up to date on our social media. We can always tell you what's trending, what's hot, you know, we would always do that. And the last thing we would like to say is, as a fashion lover, you reach a level of, you know, that place where you be like, you know, you have to carry yourself a certain way. Like, you have to invest in a good piece. Sometimes it's not just about buying cheap clothing. Sometimes you do need to invest. Like, rather than buying 5 pair of jeans, if you invest in one good piece, I promise you, we can even last longer and do way more with it than just wearing basic jeans. So invest in a good piece that you feel you can literally rock. And sometimes when you have a good piece, you don't feel guilty for wearing it so much, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm wearing my money, so I can wear it again and again.
You want to rock it till it breaks.
Yeah, don't break it. So guys, that is it. We hope that was an helpful tips. And you know, like we said, we have so many topics we've discussed over the season. If I thought you missed any of it, you can always go back
to YouTube.
You know, but we'll always have, you know, something constantly new. Just check out us, our fashion page, and on our Instagram, our Facebook, Twitter, everything, and just keep up to date.
Follow us on Goldiva Fab Show Instagram.
Yeah, and that's it for Hustle for that for this season. And we hope to see you next time on the season of the Goldiva Fab Show.
Thanks for staying with us all through these episodes. Thank you very much.
We appreciate, guys. Should we blow kisses? I feel like it's a bit cliche, but let's do it. That's fake.
All right, guys.
Okay, so to start off the hair, what I've done is I've divided the hair into two. So you've got a bottom bit and you've got a top bit. The bottom bit is a bun, and what I've done
is I've just literally put like a little foam underneath just to make it a little bit bulkier, just to give us volume. Okay, and obviously, like I said earlier, I pre-curled the hair already, so in the front, pre-curled. I call this my magic brush, and what it does, it literally just slicks everything you need to be slicked down, okay? If I get my model to turn her head a little bit, thank you. What I'll be doing is I'm going to be using quite a bit of a hairspray, and what the hairspray does, not just adds shines to the hair, but also holds all the little bits that tend to fly out after straightening the hair as well. Just makes the hair look a bit more slicker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the hair into 3. I'm going to go for a little criss over. And what you're going to try and do, the whole point of the bun as well, it allows you to hide things underneath the bun. So anything you're trying to like tuck in allows you to do that. Another tuck in as well. Okay. Now, as you can see, a bit of my foam is showing, but the whole point as well is make sure you spread the hair round in order to cover what you've used to make the volume of the hair hidden. So you don't want people to know what you've put under there really. Okay, so that's the back we have there. Nice and simple. Just going to turn my model round so we can see how we work on the front. And then today's look as well, we're going for a side. So like I said, I've pre-curled everything. I used hold-in spray to hold the curls in quite tight. Okay. Now her weave is a middle parting, but what I've done, I've looked for somewhere more convenient and I've created a little parting for myself. You can pluck it if you choose. Okay. And some people who have natural hair that you can't even relax or you can't use edge control, what I like to do is I like to use the weave as a sweep and sweep it forward and tuck it behind the ears, just so you're hiding any other bit that edge control cannot do. Okay. So obviously with the curls that are pre-done, just going to separate them, gives you more curls, but you can also always play with it. I think that's the joy of like having pre-done curls. Just play with it, see where you can put it. Once again, make sure your bobby pins are whatever color the client, could be whatever. Now, if you do have any issues, once again, hairspray. Try and avoid spraying the customer or client's face, obviously. And then while you're finishing off, make sure you have everything, like I said, hidden. All your curls, your bobby pins are all hidden, nothing's hanging out, and your client is ready. And what I will be doing today as well is just adding a couple of pieces. Okay, so if I can get you to turn your head all the way to the back, please. Thank you very much. And with these pieces, it just adds an effect. Okay, just an effect. Make sure, obviously, once again, if you need to hold it down using the correct colors of the bobby pin. And obviously just have a quick overlook, make sure everything's even. Make sure your client's face is sitting right. Yeah. Okay. And that's how you have not just the bridal look, but also look you could use to go out if you're having a dinner date, if you're going out somewhere nice, show. You know, it's not just the bridal look, but it's one of those looks, you know, that are quite universal in different occasions. Okay, and like I said, the curls, you know, do quite a lot.
Okay, to finish up my look, I'm gonna go in with a brown lip liner. So I'm just lining the lips. the chocolate brown lip liner. I'm gonna go in for lip palette. I'm gonna use a peachy pink, a soft pink. Just gonna apply my client lips.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Hopefully this look answers some of your questions, and yeah, all our social media will definitely be on screen, so definitely follow us and watch more stuff online, and hopefully get to keep up with Goldiva Show as well.
So guys, that is it for this episode of the Goldiva Fab Show, and also that is it for the season. Oh my god, how time flies. I can't believe we're at the end of season 2 already, but never mind, just close your eyes, and before you open it, we will be back with season 3. Yes, season 3 is on the way as we speak. So make sure you stay fabulous. If you want to get any more stuff about the Goldiva Fab Show, make sure you follow us on all our social media, on our website, because we will keep it updated before the season 3 comes out. We want to say a very big thank you to all our guests so far on the show, right from the very first beginning up to this present last one, which is KAFT TRENDZ, and amazing for styling me in this piece. As always, guys, it's been me. It's been amazing having you guys throughout this season with us, and we hope to have you join us back on season 3. Thank you so much, and have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous one.